Hi friends, welcome back to Azure Content YouTube channel. This is part 22 in SQL Real-Time Scenarios playlist. In this video, we are going to learn how to perform merge between source and the target tables in SQL. So sometimes in data engineering field, we have the requirement to sync the data between source and the target. So what does source means and what does target means? So suppose in your project you have a data warehouse where you have all the access and permissions, but suppose you have the requirement to ingest the data from various sources and you do not have direct access to these sources. So you cannot create any data pipelines on top of those source data warehouse or databases. In case you want to perform some reporting or some analysis on top of those data, then what we need to do is we need to replicate those data from the source into our target data warehouse where our data resides, and on top of this data now we can perform certain analysis or data transformations or data modeling, or maybe you want to visualize this data using Power BI or Alteryx or any other tools. Okay, so in order to perform this data sync between source and the target table, there is something called merge statement in SQL which we can make use of. So in this video, we will understand how we can use merge statement in order to sync the data between source table and target table. So to make use of merge statement, we need a source table and a target table. The source table contains the changes that needs to be applied in the target table, and the target table is the table where these changes should be applied. So what merge statement does is it basically applies a join between these two tables on the basis of a common column between these two tables. It might be an ID column, it might be a name column, or it can be any of the, it can be a string data type column or an integer data type column, it doesn't matter, but there should be a common column between these two tables on the basis of which we can perform merging of the tables. So if the records matches in both the tables on the basis of this common column, then we can perform update on the target table, and if in case the records does not matches, then we can perform insert or delete. We can understand it by using a simple use case. So you can see this is the image before merging and this is the image after merging, and the first data here is from the source table and this is the target table. So now what we have to do is we have to sync the data from the source table to target table. So we have all the columns matching between source and the target table, but we have to choose one column on the basis of which we will perform join. So in our scenario, we will use ID column in order to match the records, and if the record matches, then we will perform update, and if record doesn't match, then we will decide whether to insert or delete. So here you can see in the source table, ID column is having data as 2, 3 and 4, and in the target table, the ID column is having data as 1, 2 and 3, which means in the target table there is an extra row which is this row. Okay, so row number 1 having ID 1 is an extra row in the target table, which means from the source somebody has deleted that record. So now this needs to be synced in the target table as well. So we have to delete this extra record present in the target table. Also, you can see there is a new row present in the source table which is not present in the target table with ID 4. So we have to insert this row. So we have to perform delete for row number 1 and we have to perform insert for row number 4. Okay, and apart from these two, we have two rows which are matching between source and the target table, which are having ID value 2 and 3. So on the basis of this, if the record matches, then we will update all the other values. That means we will update name, age and city in the target table. So you can see the name in the target table is Charlie with E at the end, but in the target table the E is missing, which means the name is not correctly synced in the target table. We have to perform update for the matching records. Similarly, the age for Charlie is 28, which is fine, and city is Chicago, which is fine, and for Bob, which is also a matching record, you can see age is different. Okay, so we have to update age and city for Bob, and we have to update the name for Charlie. So we have to perform insert, update and delete in order to match the records between source and target table. Once we perform it, our records will be looking like this. you can see it is all exactly same. Okay, so this is how the data should look like after we perform merge. So now the question may arise in your mind that if we have insert statements, update statements and delete statements separately, we could have performed these three statements and made the data sync together by using these statements. Then why do we need merge statement altogether? So the answer to that is merge statement perform all these operations in a single statement, and you can make this statement dynamic so that it will automatically take the values from the respected columns and it can perform the job. So you do not have to write the code every day and sync the data between source and the target table. You can easily wrap this merge statement into a stored procedure and then run this stored procedure on a daily basis using ADF pipeline or any other scheduler. Okay, so we will see that in upcoming videos how to make it dynamic. But for this video, we will just keep the scope to understand the merge statement. Okay. So now let me go to SSMS and start writing the merge query. So here you can see these are the same tables which we just talked about, source table and target table. Now we have to merge these two data. Okay. So basically we have to perform merge on the target table based on the source table data. So the syntax to use merge statement is merge, give the target table name here, because we are merging the data into target table. So we will write merge target table. Let's give some alias, maybe tgt. Okay, target. Now because we are using the source table to perform this merge, we will use using then the source table name, and then let me give alias to this as well. And as I discussed, merge statement basically joins the two tables based on some common column. So on the basis of some common column, we have to perform this merge. So from the target table, we will take ID, and from the source table as well, we will take the ID column, and we will try to match the IDs between these two tables. And if there is a matching record, then we will perform update as I discussed. If there is a matching record between these two tables, which is here you can see row number 2 and 3 is matching between source and the target table, then we need to perform update for the other columns. So when the record matches, we will perform update. So we will write when matched. Okay, when matched, then what we will do is we will update the records present in the other fields. Okay, so we will update the target table tgt.Name equals to source.Name. Okay, and similarly we will also update, let me go here, tgt.Age equals to source.Age. Okay, and similarly we will write target.City equals to source.City. Okay, so here it is throwing error incorrect. Okay, expecting set. Yeah, so our syntax for update is update, then set value from this to this. Okay, set this column as this value. So we had missed set, so it is now fine. So now we have handled the scenario where if the records will match, then we will perform update in the target table and we will set the target table columns with the values present in the source table. And now we have to handle the situation where if the records does not match, then there could be two conditions. One is if there is some record present in the source which is not present in the target, then we have to perform insert on the target table. And the other case is if there is some deletion which has happened in the source, which means there is an additional column present in the target which needs to be deleted. So these two conditions we have to handle in case the record does not match between source and the target table. So to handle these two scenarios, we have to write when not matched by target, then perform insert, and when not matched by source, then perform delete. Okay, so here I will write when not matched by target, which means there is some record which is present in source but it is not present in target. So when not matched by target, then we will insert that record. Let me bring it down. Insert. So now we have to insert the whole record. So here I will write ID, name, age and city, and what would be the value which we will insert in the target, it will be nothing but the source ID and the source name. Okay, it should be the value coming from source, and source.Age, source.City. Okay, so we have handled the insert operation. Now, when not matched by source, then if there is something which is present in target but it is not matching in the source, which means it's not present in the source, then we will perform delete. Okay, so this is what it is. So let me remove space because it is a single statement. Okay, so here, okay, so we are good. I missed s here, values, right? So now after the execution of this merge statement, we would be expecting that both the source table and the target tables will be having exactly same data. So let me run it, and 4 rows affected, you can see. And now if we perform select, you can see this is having the exact same replica of the source table. Okay, so our target table has changed and it has performed insert, update and delete. Okay, using this single merge statement. Okay, so I'll copy this and paste it in the description of my video so that you can also try to do hands-on on merge statement in SQL. So I hope this video has helped, and you might have got some idea about how we can use merge statement in order to sync the data between source and the target in SQL Server. So that's it for this video, guys. In the next video, we will see how to make this merge statement dynamic so that it can be handled with any of the columns that is present in the source and the target, and we do not have to explicitly give the column names. So that's it for this video. Please hit on like button and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Thank you.